Hello, my gorgeous souls, and welcome to a new episode of Effortlessly Abundant Life. Today, we're going to talk about 6 toxic spiritual teaching advices that you probably heard that are not serving you and helping you to actually escape and break your own matrix and create the life of your dreams. And let's be honest, I was one of those people who were using these advices, and I would feel this kind of like stuckness, and I would not understand what is it that I'm doing wrong here? So I'm going to break it down to you one by one. What is it and how to avoid it, and what it is they actually need to do in order to get the results that you want. So let's jump right into it. Welcome to the Effortlessly Abundant Life podcast. I'm Natalia, a certified hypnotherapist and a mindset shifter. Not too long ago, I was a broke, burned out, multi-passionate single woman to now making 6 figures effortlessly, marrying the love of my life and attracting what I want by using my unique bridge method. I'm here to help you achieve the results you want in any area of your life by owning your true unique self with less doing, less stress, and definitely less effort. Now let's jump to today's episode in 3, 2, 1. So the first one, guys, is surrender to source, surrender to God, and everything is going to come to you. Why is it not a good advice? We heard that a lot. You just need to surrender and everything is going to come to you. The question is, what is it that we're surrendering? Okay. There is this ego spiritual understanding that we have to understand that it exists because our ego is very sneaky and it can come in this different shapes and kind of pretend that it's like the spiritual facade, but it's in the core of it, it takes away our power. And when we understand that source gave us the ability to create the reality that we see. The matrix is all a result of what you're subconsciously, what it is that you're emitting, what it is that you're reflecting back to you. That is what the matrix is, right? So if you just think, oh, I'm just going to surrender to source this big project that I have, and he's going to take care of it for you. Not so much. What are you doing? You're giving again your power away. And that is actually the opposite of what source truth is. Source wants you to take full responsibility of your life, use your creator ability, choose whatever it is that you want to create. Make sure that your belief, that your emotions, that your actions actually align with whatever it is that you want to create. And voila, you're going to create the reality that you want. The problem with this, when we are just giving it away to source, we are, again, not taking full responsibility of our life. We're not taking ownership of the reality that we want to create. And we're in this passive mode that is not really empowering and is not really helping us to move forward in whatever it is that we want to move forward to. But what I would say, what you actually want to surrender is your anger. Surrender your jealousy. Surrender your anxiety. Surrender anything that is this humanness in you sometimes that is feeling so overwhelming, or the confusion, whatever it is. Yes, let it to source. It's a beautiful dance between source and us. And it's not all up to us, but it's not all up to source. We are all in this beautiful dance. So when we understand how the universe operates, what are the universal laws, and we know how to use them properly, we are an extension of source. So source wants whatever we want because he, if you want to put it in as a he, it's going to be they, she, doesn't matter, wants to experience the world in the unique way that only we can bring into this world. So, my loves, surrender all the things that feels heavy on you, but don't give your goals, don't give what it is that you're meant to do here, don't give these big things that You think source is just going to bring it to you miraculously and it's just going to come and fall out of the sky. That's not how it works. It really is up to you as the creator of your life to take full responsibility and create the life that you want. I hope it makes sense. Okay, let's jump to number two because this is getting better and better. High vibe. High vibe that leads to what I call toxic spirituality, right? This is what is, excuse me, toxic positivity. All right. This is what we always see this like, oh, raise yourself to higher frequencies so you can attract more abundance. Oh, raise up to this and that. And that is where this, again, suppressing and not being present with your humanness and not be present with the emotion that is so necessarily is this human experience and is necessary for us to create the life that we want. Emotions are part of our existing. It's part of who we are. It's what we chose as a soul to come here to experience. And it's not here for us to be avoided, eliminate, and kind of cross out and only experience joy, bliss, abundance, and all these things, right? When we give ourselves permission and we remove the resistance and the judgment of us feeling low vibe, what happens? Immediately you're feeling higher vibe, right? Because you're not thinking something is wrong here. When we start to judge, the judgment is what is causing us feeling lower type of frequency. So it's not about only ascending to the higher vibe. It's about being in this beautiful place that there's so much growth. I'm sure if you look back into your life and you look at those low points in your life, those are one of the most important points in your life that you learn the most about yourself, that you learn the most about a certain situation, that you grew from it so much, and it really expanded you to the version that you are today that you will never, ever, ever replace for no matter what. So these are not bad. These are very important part of our growth. If I will not feel deep sadness, I will not experience the deep joy that is on the other side of it. You see what I'm saying? We need to feel both of these spectrum. The question is, are we making a story about it? Are we dwelling into it too long? Are we not really learning what is the core, what is the real root cause of whatever it is that we're feeling, or there's certain pain or certain feeling, all the way to the end? We try to suppress it, we try to numb it, we're trying to move on, and only feeling high, high vibe. That is what leads to these massive holes that you can avoid, and it will come out as a disease. It's going to come out in the physical realm somehow, shape, or form. So it's up to us to take full, kind of, again, this responsibility and seeing the full capacity of who we are and seeing and being with these what we call low vibration that I learned there are the greatest teachers that are so important. And instead of being fearful it and I always say to my clients whenever they call me or text me and something what we quote unquote bad happened, or they feel a certain way, they feel overwhelmed, they feel sadness, they feel some kind of a way. It's like on the other side of it, I'm always telling them, congratulations, you're feeling it. Congratulations, it's coming up for you. That means you're on a massive, massive, massive outtake that is going to help you to expand yourself to the next freaking level, right? So instead of fearing it, instead of avoiding it, instead of skipping it, or only feeling high vibe, I want you to see it that this is the biggest jump, quantum jump and leap for your next step. And your higher self, your body, if you experience some kind of pain, is again helping you to go and reach to that bottom, what it needs to be expended, what it needs to be shifted in your energy field so you can actually go and experience and hold your next level. So don't hate on yourself when you're feeling low vibe. Feel it, be with it, love it, embrace it, and then choose again. And all of this I'm teaching in my mini course called clear to create, which is an incredible course that is part of a bundle of only $28, where you can actually learn how to shift any low frequency to a better feeling frequency, but not from a place of toxicity, from a place of true giving it the space, really giving it the expression that it needs to be expressed, and then move it and shift it in alkaline to a better feeling. So all that is in the description bar below. All right. Number 3, following a guru as the answer to it all, as your spiritual leader, as a person that always has the answer and always seeking answers from these specific people. As we can see in the spiritual world, and we're going to see a lot of them being exposed as not as the best people in the world, I should say. But aside from it, it is very toxic and is very actually not of source truth to follow one spiritual leader, right? This one person that is quote unquote enlightened, and we need to get our answers from this person. We're all extension of source. There's no better and there's no worse. Yes, there are ascended masters. They are in a certain frequency. There is higher than the common people. They are coming specifically in this time to raise our consciousness. So we, as we see right now, as the big shift is happening, the awareness happening, the awakening is happening, we're moving into a new era, into a new age. But they are not here for us to follow them and have them to give us all the answers, and we're just kind of following blindly. That is what's caused us to be in this mess that we are in, because we blindly follow rules, we follow governments, we follow a king or queen or some kind of authority, right? The answer is always within yourself. We learned to take away our intuition, to be completely separate from our body, separate and detached from our emotions, detached from our intuition. And that is why we are so lost. We don't know how to make decisions. We don't know what's right or wrong. We don't know what is what, because we are so deconditioned to not listen to ourselves. A real spiritual teacher and a real source messenger will be a one who's always going to empower you to make the right decisions for them and not be dependent on that person, right? If you have a spiritual leader that wants you to come back to them, that you feel even in your energy, whenever you listen to their meditations, or you feel like you always have to have them around, and you feel like you can make decisions by your own, and you always have to come to them with any type of situation, that is not what is best for you. You want somebody that is always going to teach you and empower you to make the best decisions for you, and know that you always have the answers that are best for you. One size doesn't fit all at all. And it's so interesting. So I'm teaching one of my clients how to do she's a holistic dietitian, and she's incredible. And I help her to develop her intuition and develop tools so she can intuitively read her clients and create a diet for them. And one of the things I do, she's practicing on me. And it's interesting with me, I am not actually responding well to red meat. And she was able to detect it and see it. And she's like, it's so interesting, because from all the researchers, from all the things that she saw, from all the things that she learned, red meat equals good. It's actually good for you. But again, good for certain kinds of people, good for certain type of people. For me specifically, it's not. And it's not because, I am vegan or I'm carnivore, like I'm putting these titles. No, it's because there are certain things that are good for me, that are going to work well with my digestion and my energy and what my body needs. And my higher self will always know what's best for me. My body will always know what's best for me. And certain foods are not. And that is what is all about, not following this one diet, not following this one rule book, not following this one way of doing things. Now, there's no one way of doing business. There's no one way of doing relationship. There's no one way to do school. There is so many ways. And this is what's fun. And that's how we evolve as humanity when we give ourselves the permission to stop following some kind of the external, what, even if it's validated and it's been proven and it's 110%, but it goes against your intuition, it goes against your internal compass. That is not source way. We are meant to expand source through a unique way of looking in life, a unique way of doing life, unique way of doing certain things. That's how we evolve. If we're all gonna do the same thing and follow the same rules and gonna follow the same way of doing things, how are we learning? How are we expanding as humanity? We're not. So I'm here to empower you guys to drop the rule book. And if there's something that feels not aligned, if it's your business, if it's your relationships, if it's let's say your children's education, if it's any of those things, and you feel like, you know what, something in me feels not easy, something, I feel like I want to do something different, there's there's a reason why. And I want to make sure that you understand this is why it's so important to develop your intuition. And that's why I'm actually going to come out very soon. Very, very exciting announcement of developing our intuition. I'm very, very excited about that. But mark your calendars, March 28th. We're launching Cloud 9 officially. It's happening. We're going to do our virtual party, I would say, and session. Incredible session there. You're going to actually experience Cloud9 for yourself for free. And you're going to be able to ask me questions, and I'm going to be able to intuitively answer it for you. And you're going to start being part of a community, because I think that's the biggest thing for us as spiritual people. When you are awake, and there's different kinds of awakeness and different kinds of people, and like certain things you feel like you're vibing, certain things you're not. But when you're looking for your tribe, when you're looking for your people, and I really am passionate about bringing us together virtually and also physically in person, and also create a hub for you where you always can come back to something to, again, feel like you can breathe and you can feel on cloud 9, no matter what's happening around the world, no matter what is going on. You have your personal guide that is always going to help you to bring yourself back home. That's is so exciting. So everything is in the description bar below. Join us and spread the word and bring your friends. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's move on to number 4. Money is not spiritual. How many of you saw and heard people that are, how should I say, hate money, thinks that money is the root of all evil, or use money as, is this, like, again, a tool for them to use money almost like this, use it too much, let's put it that way, right? And not understand that money is an extension of source, right? It's also an extension of source. Food, money, sex, actually, as well. Those 3 things are very connected to our living energy, and our relationship with money, our relationship with food, our relationship with our sexuality, by the way, are all tied in to how we treat the world, how we treat source, how we see in our relationship with ourselves and source and the universe. And money is such an important tool to understand how are we supported, right? How are we allowed to expand ourselves to receive more pleasure? How are we actually allow ourselves to see our worth? It's just number that is tied into a certain frequency and energy that is showing our belief to what it is that we believe we are worthy. And that is something that is a lot, it causes a lot of tension for a lot of people, right? Money is the most spiritual thing you can do. I'm telling you, I want to see a spiritual person opening up a business and see how this is actually the most spiritual thing you can do, more than ayahuasca journey, more than going on a some kind of like a uh mountain somewhere and doing like a silent retreat for 7 days, more than that, because that is going to meet the deepest fears, the deepest limited beliefs of how much you think you're not worthy or worthy. What are your connection to safety? What is your connection to how you value yourself and how you allow yourself to express it, right? It's all ties in and comes back to money. So, money is the most spiritual thing you can do. And I highly recommend to start your relationship with money. It's actually in the bundle for $28. I have a whole course teaching you how to be how to be effortlessly abundant and really start creating this abundance for yourself and create a better relationship with money in literally the fraction of the price. So, go in the description more below. As I told you, it's part of my bundle, which is has my morning routine. It has Clear to Create. It has my abundant artist. That is the one that is talks about your relationship with money, which is going to give you a great start and way and simplify way to really make yourself a match to more abundance and create a better relationship with money. So check that out. All right, let's go to, I don't even know, number 5, number 4. We're just going to go to the next one. Okay, this one is a good one. Signs. Signs are not what do you think. A lot of people think when they see a sign of, oh, I saw this feather, so that means I got a sign to do this or that. Or somebody calls you and for something and you think to yourself, oh my God, that's a sign that I should do it. I'm sorry to break it down to you guys. I also was one of those people that thought, oh my God, I got a sign that I gotta do this or I shouldn't do that. And it's like, that's not how it works. Again, you are subconsciously creating this in your physical realm in what it is that you're reflecting. Everything, including feathers, including people, including numbers, including absolutely everything, is a reflection of your energy in entirely, right? So your subconscious, your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs, your energy, your creator field, all of that, what it complies of you being you, is being reflected in your physical realm. So if you believe, again, if you believe that a white feather is your sign, you're going to get that. It's not because it's the sign, it's because you created this connection for yourself. And that's why your subconscious creating this in your physical realm. The best way to know anything, if it's a sign for you to do something or not, is again tapping into your intuition connecting. If you know how to do it properly, and that's what I'm gonna be teaching you how to do it correctly, because there's so many things about intuition that are unfortunately not 100% truth. And it can be very watered down and very woohoo and very general. And there's a technique how to do it properly and how to do it in a way that is actually giving you accurate answers versus not. Because your intuition is not your emotions. It's so much more than that. And we're going to do a whole episode about that later on. But just that your intuition is the only thing you need to get any type of confirmation or any type of sign of doing something or not do something. Capiche? Capiche. Let's move to our next one. Chasing higher consciousness. Let's talk about that. It's kind of tied into the what we call toxic positivity. We are now, as humanity, ascending to the 5th dimension. It's happening. All right. Now the question is, are we, how sometimes you have let's say you have a fish, okay? Just putting it out there, this analogy. You have a fish that is swimming and you helping the fish to swim faster, right? You just kind of push at it. And you're hurting the fish because the fish is not able to hold the density of the water, because if you push it, the water feels like razor blades, right? It feels like it's harder to push through, and it's just hurting their flappers and hurts them, this fish. Okay, that is what we're doing here when we are pushing and helping what we think we're helping ourselves to ascend to the next realm, and not understand, like water that moves from shape to shape to shape, and who we are, we consist of 70% and more actually of water, and all we are is just light. Okay, that's what we are. We're energy in a certain frequency that is in a slow matter actually right now, but we're moving to a faster frequency. That's where the fifth dimension is faster. That's why everything feels like the days go by faster, the weeks go by faster, the years go faster, right? It's just you feel it. You just feel the time, it feels different, and you are gonna be different. It's already happening. You already part of this change. You're not, it's not like you don't need to help it to be more, other than you, whatever comes to your reality, right? If it's a reflection, if it's a pain, a physical pain, or anything that your body's signaling to you, or your subconscious, brings to situation or people or circumstances, we're asking you to look into it, right? Don't push yourself more than that. Don't force yourself and listen to thousands of meditations and recite all day long these affirmation, and be absolutely obsessed with ascending yourself to this new consciousness, taking so many retreat, taking all these things. It's just too much. It's almost like it reminds me how kids these days, and there was a whole, I don't remember what I saw this, it was on some kind of a news channel, and there was this, what they call, like, children are just absolutely exhausted these days because they are being active from 7 a.m. all the way till bedtime, till 9 p.m. Just constantly doing, constantly, running from school, from this after school, from this stuff, from doing homework, from this activity, from this activity. And then all weekends they have more activities, and they're just being so bombarded with all these stuff they need to do, and they cannot just be. And sometimes the most productive, and actually most of the time, the most productive thing you can do is just be, and trust that you, as part of extension of source and part of extension of nature and being part of nature, you are ascending. It's just what's happening. You don't need to do much. You don't need to push yourself. Let the kids be kids, let you be you, and let just chill a little bit. I just feel like we all need to chill a little bit and stop forcing so much on ourselves. All right. So that was my little TED talk about this. I feel very passionate about this. I feel like people don't know how to be bored. I feel like people don't want to have a moment of silence, a moment of being, a moment of just this uncomfortable in between. They always need to go to the next thing, to push to the next thing. And that in between, there's so much into that. There's so much gold, there's so much wisdom, and there's so much to be there that is going to cover more for you than anything else in your life. So just trust whatever comes to your life right now. Yeah, needed, accepted, unfolded, move forward. But again, don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. All right. I don't have anything come up for me more than that, because I feel like I had a thought, another one that I want to bring up. But if it's not going to come to me, that's okay. It's not meant to be. But the last one is spiritual ego. This one is a good one, all right? This notion and thinking that spiritual people if I'm spiritual, it means I'm better than you. If you are, let's say, asleep and you're not awake, right? You're not awake to the matrix, you're not aware of what's going on in the world, you are what they call in the community asleep. I don't like that. And I meet a lot of people that are deeply in the spiritual teachings, if that's learning about chi, it's learning about Kabbalah, it's learning about astrology, learning about numerology, and all these spiritual things and all the spiritual stuff, and treating what we call the normal person as dumb and as not awake and as somebody that just they're not as better than you. It's actually very, very toxic. And the judgment, again, the judgment thinking that you are better than somebody, it's exactly what the Matrix did for us for so long, thinking there is this pyramid and there's this hierarchy between people, that the bottom of the barrel is us, and then you have the next step and the next step and the next step, and the top of it is the queens and the kings and all the people. No, that's not how it works. Okay. We are all one. We are all made from the same particles, same energy, in different matter, in different speeds, and all that stuff in different composition. But we all made from the same cloth, as they say, right? To think that if you meet a person and it comes to your radius, right? Thinking that there's nothing to learn from them and you know more better than them and you shouldn't even like and create any interaction. That is actually very toxic, and you depriving yourself from very meaningful lessons. I love talking to any person, in my whatever it is that I do, if it's coaching, if it's in my sales that I do as a VP, I meet a lot of people from different backgrounds, from different socioeconomic backgrounds, really like from immigrants from all kinds of places. New York is filled with them. I'm an immigrant myself, right? One thing that people told me is like, oh, wow, you really like take the time to speak to, let's say, a porter, somebody that is a more, I don't like to say that, but is not like the manager of a certain building or not the property manager or not a certain kind of like hierarchy, right? And it really struck me because I truly believe that any person in this world that is source extension, I can learn so much from them. And if you can come to any interaction in your life, to any person, as the greatest teacher of you, because there's going to reflect something about you that you never thought or never seen before. They're going to see something that is going to strike you in a way that is going to make sense suddenly. It all is important. And I love conversations with people, hearing about their stories, hearing about where they came, hearing about what it is they're thinking. And it's just incredible. When you open yourself up to it, you're going to get that. So, thinking you're better than somebody else, my dear, you have a lot more work to do. All right. That is not what true spiritual source truth asking us for us to do, is really seeing the uniqueness and the equalness of all the people around us. And when we're going to truly see that we all, doesn't matter which color, which race, which sex, all these things, it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. We're all truly equal, and we're all here temporary in this planet Earth, sharing this planet and sharing this life. And we're all learning from each other and helping each other. And if we can see that, the world would be a better place, wouldn't it be? Which I'm praying and praying and praying it will. And it will. I know it will. No matter how things look like, no matter how you think things are going worse or better, doesn't depends on what your system of belief is. But I know in my core and my heart that things are getting better, and we're going to see in our lifetime what I call true world peace. And I'm very, very excited about that. All right. So I see that thing comes through. It's going to come to me. And probably I'm going to do another episode and continue that. If you like this episode, guys, take a second and rate this podcast so more people like us, the spiritual, but the non-toxic, okay? We're the non-toxic club, all right? The real spiritual people can listen to, and it truly means the world because I put so much love, energy, and value into this, and it would mean the world to me if you can take a second and rate this and write your honest review. And if you post it on your story and tag me at Effortlessly Abundant Life. I know it's a mouthful, but if you follow me, it's going to pop for you right away. I'm going to send you a free hypnosis to attract abundance into your life effortlessly. All right. For free, obviously. So, as I said, a lot of great things are happening in behind the scenes. Mark March 28th. And with that, guys, I love you. Enjoy your week and your rest of your day wherever you're listening, and sending you so, 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 so much love.